DJ Wonder Chrissy here with you again today. We have another interview. Full disclosure, this is a friend of mine for more than probably 40 years. Then went to high school with him, went to junior college with him, and touched base with him off and on over the last 20 plus years, 30 plus years. So let me introduce to you Craig, my buddy Craig, who is now a resident of Florida. So we're going to talk, or get some wisdom from Craig, who used to be a Land O'Lincoln Flatlander like myself for probably 50 plus years, and has now decided to move to Florida. So welcome, Craig. Thanks for doing an interview.
Well, thank you.
And tell the people about why the move from this great state of Illinois. It's 32 degrees and getting ready for maybe a couple inches of snow. Why would you want to move to Florida?
Well, it's mid-60s and sunny right now. We're probably going to hit a high of about 72, 73 today. So that's one of the big reasons right there, the weather. You get the nicer weather in the probably 9 months out of the year. You get the hot stuff in the summer, but the rest of the year is relatively enjoyable. So you get to pretty much every day is beautiful and sunny, and you don't have a lot of bad stuff down here. So, but when you do, when the bad stuff comes, it is quite bad.
So why the move? Why the move? What was the straw that broke the camel's back?
Well, I mean, the big one is taxes. You look at the taxes for the state. I was living in Cook County for the last 25 years prior to moving down here, and the taxes, you just see them going up and up and up. And I just was looking at my former property, and then property taxes on that from 2021 to 2022 just went up $1,400. And
what's Florida going to save you on that?
Florida, the cost of my house down here, I've got a single family house as opposed to a townhouse up there. Square footage is roughly about the same, and it's probably going to be about 60% of that or less. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's significant. Yeah, that's significant.
Well, the other part of that too is that once this is locked in, that the increases down here will not be any more than 3% a year. So you're not going to see any huge swings on taxes either. And so that is a nice benefit to look forward to in the future.
Plus, you said you were located in Cook County, kind of close to the edge of Cook County. Did you play the game of going outside the county to buy gas and food and stuff, or you just kind of dealt with the taxes there? 'Cause I know those can even be kind of pricey.
Gas, definitely. I look for gas. A lot of gas would be either going outside the county or go to Costco. I mean, there was a Costco in Schaumburg, and that was routinely 20 to 30 cents less per gallon than everything around it. Yeah. You're
talking to a guy that I go to Wisconsin to save 45 cents a gallon when I can.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, it just because, again, with Cook County, you've got the Cook County gas tax on top of that. And when I was commuting, I spent a number of years working in Deerfield, and when I was commuting, I would always make sure that if I wasn't going to be stopping at Costco, I'd get gas along the way up in Lake County, because it was always 15 cents cheaper.
Yeah. So Craig was in the IT industry for many years, newly retired, living in Florida. So talk about the move. Did you have any problems? I hear the U-Haul. I don't know. Did you do like the U-Haul thing, or did you pay a mover?
I paid a mover. I paid a mover to move most of my stuff, and unfortunately, there was a couple problems, minor problems. So I had hired the mover and set up a schedule window of 1 week after I closed to get my stuff delivered. And guess what? They missed it. So, it ended up showing up about almost a week later.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Not too bad. Yeah.
You really need your stuff.
Well, it was a little bit of a challenge, kind of living in the brand new house without a bed to sleep in or any furniture or anything like that. So I did pick up an air mattress and use that for a few weeks or a few days, and then also had to picked up a few small things that I'd be able to use out like a lawn chair. Picked up a lawn chair to use that for my basic my basic chair for the time I was in. Also picked up a table, so at the time I was still working, so I could actually put the laptop on the table to work, and then dinner time comes, you take the laptop off, you can use the table to eat, and so there's a little bit of finagling around. Had to go and pick up some cheap dishes so you could have something to eat off of. So a few things that were a little bit of an inconvenience, but the living
it's like camping. It's camping.
It was, well, yeah, it's more like glamping. I mean, because there was a full shower, full toilet, so there wasn't any sleeping on the ground. So it was more glamping than anything. But yeah, it was, and then for the most part, there's only one piece of furniture that got broke. I have an adjustable bed, and the motor snapped. Ordered a new motor, and I was very fortunate. The movie company did compensate me for all of the issues. So the issues were small, but there were a couple of issues.
Because I've heard stories where people have done the Uhaul thing and actually found it was 50% cheaper to go to Florida, rent a U-Haul, bring it to Illinois, and load it up, and then bring it back to Florida, as opposed to just renting a one-way here in Illinois, which costs you twice as much. And I think there's still like a 30-day plus reservation requirement. But okay, so that's not too bad. So how did the people in Florida treat you? I mean, do you still have your Illinois license plates, or did you quickly remove those?
No, technically, I was illegal for about 3 weeks on the license plates, 3, maybe 4 weeks, because my plates expired at the end of May. So the little sticker is May 2023, and so I got those switched over relatively quickly. So it was like within a week or 2 weeks of actually closing on the house and getting the furniture, it's like, okay, let me get this taken care of and get this put to bed. So that wasn't an issue from seeing the Illinois plays. But I would say half the people down here in my community are from somewhere else. So see a lot of people that are coming, they might have came from another state and moved to a different part of Florida, but they've moved here, so this is like their second move or third move. But most of the people here are from somewhere else.
Is there a concentration of where they're from, or is it just pretty much scattered?
It's mostly east. So got a lot of people that are coming from New Jersey, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania. So you see a lot of people from the east.
Okay.
Not a lot of people coming out. I haven't seen a lot of people from the West Coast yet, but I haven't met everybody in the neighborhood yet either.
Okay. So you've been down there 6+ months. I mean, how do people, when you met your neighbors, when you told me you're from Illinois, did they go, oh, yeah, one of those? Or are they happy to see you and happy that you made the trip?
My neighbors are actually terrific. So I've met some great neighbors. And that's the one thing that's probably very different about being down here, because up in Illinois, you'd see your neighbors wave back and forth, not saying a whole lot to them in a day's time or that. I mean, part of it's just like, well, it's January. You all want to get into the warmth right away. Down here, there's a lot more. Well, I'm living in a 55+ community, so it's a little bit slower on top of things. But in the South, things move slower. So there's more time spent conversing with people and meeting people. So it's kind of amazing because I've met all the neighbors on my street so far. So there's, wow. Yeah. So there's about 15 houses on my street, and I've met the neighbors. So we've had a couple of get-togethers on the block already. A couple blocks over, there's a house that's they hold a driveway party on every Monday night. So once a week, they just open up their drive for whoever wants to show up. So it's definitely a different atmosphere, and it's kind of good feeling to have that friendliness down here.
So going back to the cost, do you on a yearly basis? I mean, I'm hearing from other people. I just did an interview of a gentleman from Florida, and he says homeowners insurance, maybe even car insurance, I'm not sure exactly which ones or both of them, are outrageous, and he's not happy about that. But on par with Illinois, where do you see yourself landing from a cost basis, like breaking even with Illinois, or you're overall paying less?
Insurance is more down here, definitely more. So with the car insurance, I can speak on this one. My insurance, when I had 2 cars up in Illinois, was running right around $1,900 a year for the 2 cars. Now, got rid of 1 car when I moved down here, so I just have the 1 car. 1 car down here is $1,800.
Wow.
Yeah. So a little bit of shock on that. So there's a little bit, I don't know if it's attributed to the laws down here or the drivers down here, or a combination, because it's
significant.
It is significant, yeah. Homeowners insurance, that one right now is running right about on par, but I don't know if that will change after the first year or not. So I hear stories about there's a significant jump after the first year on the homeowners. So we're talking like a 50 to 75% jump. So
okay. You're paying for the sun and fun.
Yeah.
A little bit. Although it sounds like your taxes are going to be less.
Taxes will be less. Yeah, taxes will be less. So yeah, I mean, I think overall it's going to work out that I think there'll be a savings when it's all said and done. So the other part that we're waiting to see on is with the insurance. So there's kind of I don't want to say scam, but there's with the insurance, there's kind of a requisite after 15 years that they're forcing people, if they want to continue to have insurance, to get a new roof on their home. So they're forcing the roof replacement at 15 years. And I think that goes back to some of the prior contractors down here that have been scamming the insurance, and they'll come through like after a hurricane or something and notice that there's a few shingles that are loose and are missing, and then get a new roof out of it. And that's which, I mean, if it's only been a few years on the roof, do you really need a brand new roof if you're only have a few shingles blown off?
How about the solar panels? A big thing down there on people's roofs, or what's popping up like mushrooms around here?
There's a few down here. I think the biggest thing on preventing them from being larger down here is because you had that roof replacement after every 15 years, and if you have the solar panels on top of it, that's an extra cost to remove them and put them back up.
Okay.
So I've heard, talking to some people, I've heard the reason why they haven't done it is because of that fact. It's like, okay, so you have to go through that additional cost to get the panel removed and put back up after 15 years, as opposed to 20 to 25 years or even 30 years on a 30-year shingle. So there's some drawbacks on getting the solar, but I mean, there are quite a few houses down here that do have solar that say, well, heck with it, I'll just take and bite the bullet and do it anyway, because the savings I can get off of it will be greater than what that cost will be.
So what do you miss? What do you miss about the Midwest?
Oh, easy. The deep dish pizza. I mean, yeah, because there is no Chicago style pizza down here. So,
all right, no,
haven't found that yet.
I heard Portillo's, I think, might have just opened something in Kissimmee.
Yeah, there's one down in Claremont, which is also the closest Costco. So the other thing is missing Costco a little bit. So all right. Yeah, you've got an hour, and that's probably about an hour drive from where I'm living. So if you want to make a trip to Costco in Portillo's, it's an hour away.
All right. Well, Costco has decent hot dogs, at least they used to. I don't know. They seem like they're reducing. I heard they're getting rid of the churros this year.
Yeah, I just read that too, that they're replacing it with a double chunk cookie or something like that.
Okay.
So the one thing, because I'm reading the article, it's like they have to have a finite set of items. So if they're adding something, they got to remove something. So to add the cookie, they got to remove the churro.
Right. And I think last time we talked, you mentioned Amazon deliveries is not as swift as it is in the Chicago area, where they're like, there's Amazon trucks every 5 minutes.
Yeah, Amazon in the Chicagoland area, you could get many things same day, or at the latest one day, the next day. Here, it's going 2 to 3 days. Over Christmas, it was closer to 5. So just a little more planning, I guess.
All right, so pizza's the only thing that we got over Florida? Is that what you're telling me?
I mean, pretty much. I mean, the weather here is nice. I could say, well, I don't know. I mean, I haven't really been down here long enough to say, well, I really missed this or really missed that yet. Just went through my first fall here, which, I mean, you don't see any changing of the colors because everything is still green. That might be a little bit different here because the leaves don't turn brown and fall off. They just fall off and when it comes time for it to go dormant. But yeah, there's not been a lot of things out here that have really, I'm not really missing a lot of things. I'm missing people. I mean, missing some of the friends I had up in the Chicagoland area. But for the most part, making up for it here with new friends down here and just kind of starting to ease into that retirement life here. So technically right now I'm unemployed, so I'm still kind of looking for work, looking for the right job, right opportunity, but if it doesn't happen, I'm ready to turn that into the retirement.
Have you transitioned to a more outdoor lifestyle? I mean, are you taking up, are you a golfer or?
I do play golf. I haven't played a lot of golf in the last couple of years. I picked up a rescue dog right about 2 years ago. It'll be 2 years at the end of this month, and so with him I haven't got out and played as much, but that's definitely on the list, to get out there and get onto the list. And that I just finished screening in my lanai, so it basically making that pretty much a year-round activity, year-round room. So it's really nice that you can go out there and not have to worry about bugs or anything like that. So really, really good feeling about that. Got the ceiling fan on the lanai, so keep the air moving in the summer. But yeah, I mean, with my dog, we're out there. We have taken walks probably four times a day, just getting out into the neighborhood 4 times a day and now with a little bit more free time, I'm looking to join some of the clubs that we have here in the community.